Hey everybody, today is August 12th, 2022 on Friday. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
How's it going?
Good, man. I have in my hand a bowl of Oreos with a Z.
Oreos. Yum.
Nice indica.
Yeah.
This one it tends to attack the eyelids and makes them want to droop.
I see that. So it's a good one, huh?
It is a good one.
Good.
Yes.
I hope everybody else is having a good day today. Good Friday. I feel like it's an earned Friday today.
You know, it really is.
Yeah.
And I want to get this out because, you know, I'm always the one messing up. But
Absolutely.
If you're listening to us on YouTube,
yes,
please hit that subscribe button if you have not already subscribed.
And hit that bell if you want to hear us go live. Hit the likes. Follow us on Spotify. I mean, if you are listening to us on Spotify, come see us on YouTube. We would love to have you. We go live there. Come interact. You come say hi while we're doing the show right now. If there's anybody else that's listening while we go. So let's get started with our talk. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's an earned Friday. I earned this Friday.
You know, well, it is Friday. It's pay yourself day.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I feel I've been able to pay bills today. It felt good doing that, honestly. So paid some bills for the house, for the casa. I got to keep the internet going for the young one and for the lady, you know, and for obviously my job. But
and I know it's no secret we support SNDL.
Yes.
And ticker symbol SNDL, and they since the reverse split now have finished back over at $3 anyway,
which is good because we have not seen the stock at $3 in a while. I mean,
we haven't.
Yes, it is there's a double-edged sword to it. You know, there is the average cost change because of the reverse stock split, but that's just how it goes. You gotta stay in compliance. We gotta still keep going. We gotta still be able to put money towards something that we believe in because that's what investment is about. It's about investing in the future.
And the reverse split, all it does is like accordions. It crunches everything together, so the value's still the same.
Absolutely.
It's just for the next person that wants to buy it.
It's a higher cost now. I mean, you had to be in when you're in. Now that you're in, you're grandfathered in. Congratulations, you've made it. You have numbers now. I would say it's a good time to go out there and stock up because at some point we're going to get back to the point of even where we were prior before the reverse split because that's basically what it happens. But you got to think of it out of averages. Now, yes, we're at $3, but we're still down. You know, we got to get up to our percentage.
Well, and here's my thing. So while we were trading at it when it was, you know, below $1, you know, cents on the dollar, now that we're up, obviously if we were to continue buying, our money would not go as far. We would get fewer shares. It'd still be valued the same.
Absolutely.
But now imagine somebody that really has more money to invest, that wants to get in on weed at $3, you know, since we're this close to legalization versus when we were doing it. I think I have my average down to 62 cents a share.
Exactly. I didn't have 300 shares at $1. I didn't have. Well, actually, no. Thinking about it, I may have had almost around that same amount, but it's not the same value. It was $300. Now it's $900 because of how the percentage works. It actually tripled the money where I'm at now, the number of shares where I'm at prior, but we got to get back up to our total average again. But it's just gonna grow at a different rate. That's it. So, I mean, 55% off, and then give or take, I guess you were to think about it. A lot of people say that's a big hit, but no, that's 50% less of what I initially paid for, if I think about it.
That's all it is. So I think that now that the Q2 earnings are out and we have the full all kind of revenue and they see the amount of money that's coming in, it will do nothing but drive the value of this company forward. That's just my opinion. This is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own due diligence.
Well, this is just us talking about how we feel of what we have done and how we feel that it's been working, or what it does or what it means. Because it is, like we're talking our opinion about it, but this is also kind of it is a good reflection of also paying yourself still. Like, I have a lower average in my account, yes, but I also have a higher average of what I've spent into this stock, which is good. So, I mean, I still have my money that's there. It's still there. It's just...
And for me, so I also, in the green energy, I own a charge point. ticker symbol CHPT. And that finished up over $2 a share today.
The green energy sector is doing great too.
The Inflation Reduction Act went through the House, and I believe Biden is going to sign it into law if he hasn't. I heard something along those lines. So that will happen, and I think all that investment into green energy is really what's driving the value of the stock up really fast today.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, I mean, green energy change is happening. Like, I even work for a company that's trying to focus on green changes. So, I mean, it is a thing that's happening. So we've talked about investing, and we've talked about paying yourself, and what does pay yourself means. It doesn't mean pay yourself essentially to save. It means pay yourself to save, but also invest into the future. Like, people are spending money on things that don't have value, things that don't translate into the real world.
Right.
So if you want something of value, you put your money towards something that is real and authentic, that you want to support. So yes, pay yourself. Do that.
If I really had money, I would be buying artwork.
Yeah, it's a bank account with interest. Is basically what I've been saying.
Yeah.
And you are paying for things, and you do see results of things too. You and I both have been through a multitude of different stocks, doing different things, and you and I have experienced a lot of different stocks too. And we have in the ass. We have talked Moderna multiple times, but
don't forget AMC.
AMC.
Oh man,
we did make money in AMC in that opportunity.
We did,
but we did pull out early. So we're learning to be resilient.
You know, that's it. I wish I had a crystal ball then. So
really,
I mean, for me, I was in at AMC at $15 and sold at $30. I doubled my money, right? Right. Who knew it was going to jump to 60?
Yeah, and exactly. And who knew it would jump to 60? That was so crazy. And we've learned through different experiences. It's not that we're meme stock chasers, because yes, we did talk about a few meme stocks. We believe that social interaction and social settings like Twitter and Facebook has power in this environment, and we have experimented with that to figure that out, and it does. It holds a true power to it, and these short holders are definitely afraid of what people can learn from that. And it's not a meme stock thing. I'm not trying to attack go against these short holders. Yes, they're making it unfair, but you have the power to invest your money into what you have, and that's what I'm trying to encourage.
You know, and for me, history is a big teacher, and we talked about this before. Remember how the value of alcohol stocks was plummeting back during Prohibition, and they legalized it, and boom, it exploded.
Exactly.
And we're on the cusp of that now. There is marijuana legislation floating all around the Capitol.
Everywhere, yeah.
In the House and Senate. The House has already passed legalization bills. It's just up to the Senate to do something, and now the Senate is finally doing something.
Right.
It would be amazing to be in that prohibition kind of setting when it becomes legalized.
Right. And there are multiple companies out there that all have different stances, different, whichever. If you don't like Sundial, you can find somewhere else in the same space, in the same sector.
We've been through this with Harvest. You know, you just have your money in the industry.
Yeah,
and they got bought out by Trulieve.
Yeah, and then that money moved, and we made some money. It's really cool. Going into Harvest, you talk about the merger, and you were in on investing on it. The people think it's actually the coolest thing ever, and it's really cool. I'm actually, I did make some good money on Harvest. I did. But I haven't touched a bit of it because I like not necessarily the game of, saving my money and spending for myself or spending for things that I believe in, but watching the development of it. Knowing that I have the power to spend money on things that I feel are of value to not only life, but the future, is a positive thing. I feel like that's very progressive, and it helps me feel good that I'm putting something towards something, I'm doing something else, putting my money somewhere else in another space Like, you talk about green energy, we talk about weed, but weed doesn't necessarily isn't just a smoking thing. Hemp, we talk about hemp being blossomed into something different. Medically, it can blossom into something because it's restricted federally. Like, we need to open this product up. That's essentially what it is. It's a product.
But you got to know when to pull the trigger, which is why we follow current events.
Exactly.
We know the trend and what's happening.
You pay attention to the future.
Right.
Like, you invest in the things that are out there. Like, if you get a piece of information, look into it. Maybe you hear that, wow, people are actually into boxed wines now these days, and they're getting big. Like, you could, why not? Like, I'm not saying be a popular chaser, a popular subject chaser, but that literally is what current events are. It's a popular subject, or it's a popular thing that a lot of people are talking about and willing to change it. So you kind of have to throw it into a popular topic if you want it to turn into something, I guess.
So I've bought into charging stations. My son decided he was going to go into lithium, which goes into, making these batteries and all this other stuff. And he's definitely made some improvements in his portfolio as a result.
Again, you and I talked about our botch with Moderna. If we paid attention to current events and stayed focused on what we were doing, we would have a different result of what we're talking about now. I feel like, it's just anyway. It really is just pay attention to the future. Focus on your belief. Believe in what you want. Like, don't talk down other people's beliefs, because that turns that free market into a hostile environment. It doesn't encourage others to go into there and experiment.
Yeah, keep your FUD to yourself.
Yeah, we experiment here at Uncle. It's what we do. I mean, we win some, we lose some. That's how it goes, honestly. But it's not looking to win or lose. It's looking to invest. It's looking to increase your interest in your bank account. And that's exactly what we're working on, that percentage interest.
That's right. Playing with house money.
Absolutely. And it's more house money than I've had when I started.
Yeah. So anyway, man, while you're hitting that, I think it's a good segue to transition into the DOJ. And I mean,
they're a hot topic right now.
Merrick Garland has spoken more in the past month than he has in the past previous 18 months of this administration, right?
That sounds like a good thing.
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
We said the less we hear from him, the more scared everyone should be. Mm-hmm. And now look what's happening. Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of poetic how all these elected Republicans in D.C. are screaming about defund the FBI and defund the police and impeach Merrick Garland. Where's your hypocrisy?
For him doing his job.
It's heaven forbid. There's
like you do yours.
Says, defund the police when you're killing unarmed black men. Exactly. But now we're going after the biggest thief in the world,
the FBI, because they're investigating our Sig Heil leader, basically.
Right. Like the Tangerine Terror.
Yeah.
So I love Merrick Garland's play because they threw a right, he ducked under it and came back with the left hook.
Yep.
And he cleaned them out. So long story short, he filed the motion with the Federal District Court of Southern Florida to unseal the search warrant and the contents of its reveal.
I saw Lauren Bobber yelling and screaming for it on Twitter, like her
yeah,
release it, ex-representative, president. Yeah. So I mean, good, release it so we know.
So
right?
Now we know what's in it, and but so here's the thing. So in the search warrant, because remember in the affidavit, you have to say this is. I believe I will find evidence of these crimes. Based on the evidence and everything that I presented to you in this warrant.
Right. And
we know 3 charges that were laid out in this search warrant. And I'm not going to get like technical, like in the numbers and stuff like that, like U.S. code, blah, 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 whatever. But one of them had to do with, improper handling of material. One was destruction of material. Mm-hmm. And those are like 3-year crimes. But the big one involved violation of espionage crimes.
Yep, that's what I heard too.
And so my question is, just knowing, like I said, having written search warrants before, what was he doing to attract their attention to move now and get this information?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's one question I have that I have not heard addressed on any of the so-called news outlets.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. And then bottom line is, like I said earlier, the man's doing his job, and the right just shouting at him and, impeach this and blah, blah, blah. They're literally doing what we did with Trump, but in a wrong way.
So here's the thing.
In a wrong way.
Now that we know, we know that in the material that was seized, it was classified in 3 different ways. We know that material was seized that was classified as top secret. Mm-hmm. We know material was seized that was classified secret. And we know material was seized that was labeled confidential. Now, what was in those, we don't know. We're not privy to that. Mm-hmm. But we just know that's the area in which the FBI was saying that we're going to find this information. And
I was just about to talk about transparency and how everything is classified.
And there it is. Boom.
Yeah. I was just about to talk about, I'm good, they're being transparent and talking about it, and then everything's classified. We took it. You can't see it.
Well, that's just it. Because part of the things that they were looking for and that were laid out in the search warrant were related to the nuclear codes.
Oh, for real? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So, again, what was he doing for them to move now?
I don't know.
We have the war with Ukraine going on. Was he going to help old Uncle Vlad out over there in Russia?
I don't even want to think about it.
I'm just saying. But again, we're talking espionage charges.
Exactly.
There's a lot going on here, and I think that we're not even really close to understanding what the Department of Justice is doing, what they have. They even took the phone. They had a search warrant and took the phone of Representative Perry from Pennsylvania, who was one of the congressmen requesting a pardon from the Tangerine Terror before he left office. He didn't get it, but the DOJ is moving, and really, when all this began, has always been my main focus. Mm-hmm. What sitting members of Congress aided and abetted in this plan? When are we going to find out who? And we already know the ones that requested pardons.
Right. Or fifths.
Who else? Oh, that's another thing. Donald Trump pled the fifth over 400 times.
That's exactly. Yeah, man. Well, I feel like that's a good segue. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Mr. Mobster. I guess I can call him that now because only mobsters plead the fifth, right?
That's what he said.
If I want to... Trump is the president and he knows everything, then yeah, he's a mobster. He's correct because he pled the fifth. Like, if I'm going to actually be that, agree with one thing that he has said, that is it right there. I'll agree with that.
and I notice there are so many people that have pled the fifth hundreds of times in their depositions regarding the January 6th involvement and what happened on that day and their plans to overthrow the government and a free and fair election.
That's insane. I mean, I'm open for transparency throughout the whole thing. I would like more transparency, but you said the documents that are taken were classified, so we have to wait. And I don't like.
We shouldn't know what's in there because let's face it, man.
Right.
We don't want the nuclear codes out there.
That does make sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But, all in all, I'm glad they're doing their job. I'm not all up in pitchforks to them doing their job because doing your job is the most important thing to do, apparently. And we have some people in Congress who don't do that at all. So, Good. Let's find out who they are. Especially the one who was texting out locations during. I'm still waiting for that.
I want to know what sitting members of Congress were involved and when they're going to be held accountable.
That's exactly that. That's what justice is, being held accountable for your actions. And that's what I look forward to all the time with justice. So,
yeah. And justice matters. Isn't that right, Glenn Kirshner?
It does. That shit's good now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, the whole twist and turn of them calling it a raid, that's one other thing. It's just like, it wasn't a raid. It was a warrant. It was a search warrant, you know? Like, they announced beforehand that it was going to happen. Makes sense why he wasn't there. Like, he probably avoided being there because he knew it was going to happen. But of course, he talks about, hey, it didn't happen. It was a raid, unannounced, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't.
No. Number one, his attorney was there.
Yeah.
He had notice prior to the warrant being executed. Mm-hmm. And the Secret Service was notified beforehand. No doors were kicked in. It wasn't a raid. There was nobody running in yelling, "Freeze, police!" Mm-hmm. There was no raid.
The only raids I know are going on are in World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
but like you said earlier, with it's more just the difference of knocking versus kicking the door in.
I just think Merrick Garland is a brilliant strategist. They walked right into his left hook, and they're down for the count. Now what are you going to do? So now, at this point, having this information being revealed, because remember, after a search warrant is served, 9 times out of 10, the next thing that's coming is an indictment, which is...
I mean, espionage is a pretty big deal.
An indictment means come down, take your mugshot, and let's fingerprint you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's when you're officially charged.
Yeah, they definitely have probable cause to go raid the place, so they don't just do it for no reason.
No.
I said raid.
Another thing, so the judge, I learned this today. Mm-hmm. The judge was not an appointed judge by any president. Mm-hmm. It was signed by a magistrate. And a magistrate is a judge appointed by other judges. Mm-hmm. And that is who is put in charge of overseeing this particular case or something this big, to have that wall of protection from any political input or impropriety or influence.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing that he's doing it, because he's unbiased in a way, if you think about it. It's an unbiased approach. That's why I'm pretty sure the right hates it, because it's somebody that doesn't back him. He's just doing his job, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Going full circle.
When you follow the law, when you follow the facts and apply the law, that is what is happening. That's what they don't like, because it's putting them in a bad light. Otherwise, why would they be asking for pardons?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Honestly, it does. It makes total sense. I have something I want to bring up before we get into our dumbass of the day.
Okay, we got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I can make a small segment real quick. How do you feel about term limits? Now, before you answer, Ro Khanna is pushing it seems like it's starting to run more than what a lot of people think. A lot of people are on the stance of term limits for justices. I think it's a great idea. And the term limit, I think he's suggesting is 18 years. He said it could be adjusted. But I think 18 actually is a good approach. And here's why.
Okay, go ahead.
Young age, 1 year old, you become 18, then you have a whole other idea of society, and then you go out into the world, you start learning, whichever. 18 years have passed, a justice is now a new space, whatever, you're able to vote. You have the opportunity to vote for this newer justice, and you have the opportunity to not vote for this one that's going to be expiring soon. Like, you have like these ideals, this idea of who's been there for X amount of time, who's newer, whichever, you're a brand new voter. It's more information than I have ever received, I feel like, on those ballots about those people by just literally knowing how long they've been in their position. because you have the idea of how long they've been, one, experienced, two, if they've had too much experience, or three, if they've maybe been there for too long. And they don't see the same ideals as the future, the progressives. So,
I guess when you ask term limits, that applies to elected officials, and judges aren't elected; they're appointed. And again, it's just my opinion. I'm not opposed to 18 years, but I think that if you just apply the same laws that you would to everybody else, cap it at an age limit and say at 72 you have to retire. No more 80 and 90-year-old justices.
Right. So something like that. Maybe,
and I think that would be fairer.
I just feel like beyond 20 years is too long. Like, if we already have a presidency that only allows you to sit 8 for concurrent years, 8 consecutive years, then why are they allowed to sit for 30? Why are they allowed to sit a lifetime when even numbers show, like society shows itself, that we adapt and change faster than that?
So the theory of the Founding Fathers when they drafted the Constitution and separation of powers, they were lifetime appointments because of there's no loyalty to a president because presidents come and go.
Right.
Your loyalty is to the Constitution. That's the theory.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. So say somebody like now Justice Sotomayor, who was appointed under President Obama,
right,
is making decisions during the time of President Donald Trump, and now is making decisions under the time of Joe Biden.
Right. Have you seen more presidents go by?
You do. Yeah. So it's like it's not because you're not there to serve the president. You're there to serve the Constitution, and that really is what has been lost.
Okay. So are we talking about a constitutional amendment then? Is that what that is?
It would definitely be a constitutional amendment.
No, I think it's a good time to start talking about that then. Because it really needs to be it needs to be floating out there a little bit more. I need to hear more people talking about it because we need to understand that as human beings alone, no matter where we're from, we adapt and change throughout society, and societies change. Like, all societies change over time. We can talk about different eras out in China, different eras in Japan, different eras in Korea.
Yeah.
Like, there are different times in different places in other worlds that you can say, quote unquote, when they're all human. Right. Humans just adapt. That's it. So, and we can't have something restricting us.
Say you're 60 years old and you're appointed to the Supreme Court. You don't get 18 years. You only get 12 now if you got a mandatory retirement at 12. At 72.
That makes sense. Okay. That could be a good one too. A ceiling. Yeah. That'd be great.
I just think it levels the playing field across the board for every.
I think that'd be a good start to it because even if we don't feel like that's big enough or long enough, we could amend that again. If we can have Americans understand that we're not stuck to that old American knowledge, we are different. Why are we doubting science now? Why are we doubting our future now? Why are we suppressing our future now? Because
there's an idiot who came along and said it's okay to do that. Because
exactly.
The stupider he could make people, the more he could stay in power.
Here at Hanging with Uncle, we talk about the future all the time. We talk about being progressive all the time. And I feel like that's just, we need to amend something. That's what we need.
I think it's time to jump into dumbass.
All right, I got mine. It may be... a lot of you may have heard it already, but a nurse out in Houston has received 90 years in prison for vehicular manslaughter and a lot of other charges because she was driving distraught. She hit multiple cars going 110 miles per hour, killed 6. I would say instantly because I couldn't look any further into the story. It's so sad, but. Don't be a dumbass and drive distraught, drive upset, emotional, because it is honestly a very scary thing. Like, she was upset, emotional about her boyfriend breaking up with her.
Eminem wrote a song about it.
Yeah, and now she's behind bars for 90 years because a family of 4, potential 4, a mother, a pregnant, father, and toddler who are coming back from their ultrasound don't get to have a future anymore because she decided to be a dumbass and drive distraught. So,
yeah.
PSA alert with our dumbass of the day today. Sorry, be safe out there, okay?
So my dumbass of the week is elected Republicans, those people that are using the bully pulpit, and I mean people who like Mitch McConnell and Rafael Cruz and Josh Hawley and Lindsey Graham and so on, calling for transparency in the Justice Department, and Merrick Garland needs to release and unseal that search warrant and make it public. Well, they got what they deserved today, and they walked right, like we talked about, they walked right into that left hook because he unsealed it. We know what's in there. We know what the FBI recovered. And again, the only thing that happens after the execution of a search warrant is an indictment, which are federal charges. So, Republicans, you're dumbasses for walking right into that one.
The MAGA Republicans,
right?
For sure. Yes.
Yeah.
And we know not all Republicans are bad, but definitely the MAGA ones, they're dumbasses.
Thank you. Even Margarine Trader Green actually filed a bill to impeach Merrick Garland.
Because she doesn't want to see
she's
fall.
all about protecting her team instead of the Constitution.
Exactly. There's a team game out there.
Right. So you guys are a bunch of dumbasses. You walked into that one. Jail is the next thing.
Sayonara.
Checkmate is the next move on the board.
Sayonara. Don't write, please.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for this week. I'm Gene.
I'm Zane. Please hit that follow button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know what you feel about today's show.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya.